Welcome everyone to a new edition of Real Cannabis Talk. Today we have a special guest. We have the owner and founder of Chronic Expo. And not only is he just an incredible individual personally, he's a good friend of mine, a mentor. We've just really connected in this life in such a special way. And I'm just so excited. He's just a personality beyond personalities, guys. He's what I consider one of the future, he's one of the future moguls of the Chronic game and the Expo game. And so with that, no further ado, I want to introduce Justin. Justin, are you there with us?
Yeah, I'm here, JR. Thanks for having me.
Oh man, dude, it's a pleasure, brother. I'm so happy to have you on right now. I'm so excited to talk about the Chronic Expo. I'm so excited to hear what you have in store for all of us. Can you give us just a little bit while we get started here? Maybe just give us a little background of who you are and how you came to this vision and then just how it's progressed.
Yeah, it's actually been a long journey. I worked in events for about 10 years, and that's where I met you, actually. And that's where, I was putting on events in Southern California in the nightlife industry. And then I switched to health and wellness, and I did a lot of stuff in the, yoga, nutrition industry, and everything revolves around events. I did grow for a while and, started, having cannabis in my life and less alcohol, and saw a huge transition.
Absolutely.
And yeah, and that's really what, made me fall in love with the plant, and then learning about, cannabis and hemp and the different strains and the science of growing and everything about it. It's much more exciting to me than cannabis or anything else. And once you learn about the plant and what it can do, like hemp, for example, hempcrete, you can build houses, clothing. It grows 5 times faster than trees, and you don't have to do deforestation. Cannabis, the health benefits of THC with modern medicine, and CBD topical, for if you're in pain. There's so much that cannabis offers that people are not familiar with. So I decided to, with COVID going on, gave me some time to kind of pivot and work on a new project called the Chronic Expo and enter the cannabis space. So I'm basically taking all of my knowledge from my 10 years of producing events and being in the wellness industry. And now I get to put that into the Chronic Expo and provide this amazing experience, not only for people to learn and grow, but for them to come together in community and network and have a good time all at once.
Wow. That's awesome, bro. I know there's just so much here. I mean, I really want to go through a little bit of just like what's happening with the expo inside. I know you've done a lot in the actual just events industry. By the way, guys, he's put on some of the most incredible events that I've ever been to. We used to just stroll into places, status. I mean, it was just such an incredible journey. That's how I met him. We were in the nightlife together. He really was the leader of the nightlife industry in so many ways. And I just got to tag along. I just saw the adventure. I just saw the epic journey that he was on. And I was just literally just a good friend that he invited along. And I would just see these events, these people, how VIP everything was, how just was so posh and polished. And he just, from there, he moved on to different industries. And literally, I just watched him in every single industry, just literally conquer and just kill it. And it was just such an epic journey to be on with him. And now he's moving into the cannabis industry, which he's already been part of the cannabis industry for quite a while, but now more about putting on the events for the cannabis industry and bringing this all together really for a networking events, meet and greets. Tell us a little bit about that, Justin. I just wanted to hear, like, what do you have in store inside? What's the networking like, and what's going on with networking and inside the Cannabis Expo?
Yeah, definitely. the Chronic Expo is going to, feature an expo hall with the top brands and companies where you can meet with them, ask questions, look at products, really get information that you can't so much get online. So the expo hall is a great way to learn and grow and buy things and connect with these brands in person. In addition to that, we're going to have an entire area dedicated for talks and workshops going on about cannabis, hemp, CBD, nutrition, health, and wellness. And then there's going to be networking, after with Q&A questions, and then people can join the networking portion where you can get to talk to each other and build relationships and really connect on a deeper level. There's also going to be separate, opening gatherings, if you will, and post parties where people can, just have fun and enjoy each other and get to know each other more. So the Chronic Expo, it's going to involve some B2B, B2C, networking talks, events, parties. It's kind of everything that people can look forward to. So a lot of fun, a lot of education, and a lot of new friends.
Wow. Awesome, man. I mean, you were telling me a little bit about like meet your breeder kind of things too. So people can actually meet the breeders. If, for instance, I'll be able to meet, have a talk there as well. And people can come by, meet me personally if they want to and say hi and so forth, and other breeders that they're inspired by, etc. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's kind of the concept. There's going to be 3 different passes you can choose from. You can just go to the expo if you want. That's the green pass. If you want the VIP pass, the Chronic pass, that'll get you into the talks and workshops. And then we have the industry pass, which is the networking. It's a great opportunity if you have questions for a breeder, or let's say you follow JR in Old School Chronic and you want to meet him and, maybe ask him questions, get to know him, it's a great way for face-to-face in a cool upscale environment for people to have a good time. And, we're going to have Chronic coffee going on, music, fun networking. It's going to be at an upscale 4-star hotel. We're going to have some after parties, a Chronic yacht party. So there's a lot of different experiences than just the expo hall. We're going to have some really cool hosts at the expo that we can't disclose yet, but that's going to be a big surprise. And it's, much more than an expo. It's a complete experience where people are going to come and take away lifetime friendships and a lot of knowledge and connections.
Honestly, that sounds so fun, bro. I mean, and honestly, the cannabis industry has been really missing that for a long time, especially for the last year with COVID. Nobody's really gone out. Nobody's really met each other. Before that, there were so many things with High Times. They had they had the Cannabis Cup Awards and so forth, and now there's just really almost nothing out there. Can you tell us a little bit about, are we going to have contests at this? Are there going to be B2B, like business to business opportunities? I mean, what does it look like for the business owners and the dispensaries and the people that want to participate in this at a business level?
Yeah, absolutely. So the mornings are B2B from 8 a.m. to noon, basically. That's B2B opportunity for businesses and networking and for people to come together and really talk business strategy and community and learning, cross promotion. That's going to be a big part of it. We're going to be launching Chronic Guide magazine. It's going to be a quarterly print and online issue. So not only will it have the program guide for the Chronic Expo, it's also going to have interviews with like yourself, the top breeders, education, advice, tips, really focused on the cannabis industry. So we'll have the magazine there for people to enjoy and take home. In addition to that, we're going to have the Chronic Awards. It's basically what it says. We're going to have some of the top judges in the industry sampling and tasting different types of cannabis and edibles. And then we're going to have an award ceremony where we give out awards. And it's really about rewarding those people that work so hard, like yourself, every day on cultivating and growing and a master at their craft, kind of like craft beer or wine. You know, it takes a lot for a brewmaster to craft that perfect combination of hops and, you know, wheat and barley and water and every fermentation, everything goes into it. So when you sit down, you have that cold beer. There's so much that went into it. It's just like cannabis. You know, there's so much that goes into it. So we really want to honor and reward those people, and also, you know, let people know what are the best strains out there right now. And even like your brand, Old School Chronic, you know, like your Skywalker, Cat Piss, your stuff that you're working with, different strains, if you will, that other people are working with. What's the best grown strains right now? Because everyone has different strategies, whether it's their soil, their nutrients, their lights, their drying process, from seed to, you know, to veg grow, everything that people are doing. We really want to not only reward those people and give them some glory, like, hey, you're doing a great job, here's an award, but also let people know, like, hey, the Chronic Awards, check these guys out. They deserve, you know, some recognition.
That's awesome, man. So it's not just a bunch of business people getting together, and I mean, that is awesome that piece exists, but it's going to be also a B2C, you know, business to consumer aspect where we can share what we have. We can, you know, there'll be opportunities for people to purchase seeds, or even what about growing? What about lessons and in the classes? Tell us a little bit about the classes that are going to be there. Is it going to be for advanced people only, or what's going on with the classes?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you asked. There's going to be different classes and talks going on, different workshops. So there'll be, you know, growing for beginners, how to, you know, get your seed, you know, in the proper way to grow, beginner steps, if you will, and then take away, you know, program guides for you to take away, and then even advanced growers, you know, organic solutions for soil, for you know, like lighting technology with LED lights, you know, different tips and advice from, you know, top growers in the industry and masters at their craft. So it's going to be a little bit of everything. If you're a beginner or an advanced, you're going to find something of value. And we're also going to be streaming live. We just launched our social media platform. You can follow us, Chronic_Expo on Instagram, and our website is chronicexpo.com. We have some blogs on our website with tips and advice, but even on our Instagram, we're talking with people around the world. Like today, I talked with a gentleman in Cape Town, South Africa, Amsterdam, Oklahoma, Canada, London, and Greece. That was just today. So we're going to be streaming live around the world and streaming in people from around the world at the talks and workshops and classes. So, you know, no one knows everything. And if you do, then you don't know anything, you know? And that's what I love about cannabis. It's always evolving. When I started growing with HPS 1000s, LED lights didn't exist, you know, and it was, you know, nutrients were hard to come by and all these things. Now, fast forward 10 years, the world has completely changed. So it's going to be really cool for people to come and not only get these tips and advice from the presenters and our master teachers at the talks and workshops and classes, but also for people to network and talk with each other and exchange information, but share tips and advice. And I feel like that's what's fun. Life is about being fun and creative. That's what's fun about the Chronic Expo. You're going to make some new friends for life, and you're going to exchange tips and advice. And that's something I really like about the cannabis industry. It's really uplifting. You see so many people, especially like on your page, for example, JR, on Old School Chronic. I follow your page. I see so many people are like, great job. Oh, I love that. Oh, thanks for that tip. Can I ask you a question? It's very uplifting, positive community. And maybe because everyone's smoking and medicated and really happy and high, but you know, everyone is out to help each other. And I think that's what the world really needs. And that's what life is about.
Yeah, no, I feel you. We've got some, you know, incredible community members, to be honest with you. I've been brought to tears in so many times, just literally hearing the stories about how people are healing and about just what they're learning and growing through. And I even had somebody tell me at one time that, you know, just sharing the knowledge and getting them excited about growing again really changed their life, and matters of fact saved their life. You know, they were going in an alcoholic abusive kind of situation, and they were literally thinking, wow, this is pretty much the end of my life. And then they refound a new love for growing, and then at that point they were sharing with me that it literally saved his life. And I was just so blown away by that, just being able to hear that story. And then there's so many more other stories like that. Like dad is now dancing on the carpet because he's shredding it up now, because before he was full of like narcotic drugs and all this weird stuff that the hospitals are giving you. Now he's able to move into cannabis, and I've never seen him dance like that before. Before he was all drugged up because of his pain, and now he's not in you know, he's medicated in a different way through good cannabis, you know. And to me, those stories are really what impacted me to keep going, you know, and just keep breeding, keep going, keep giving people what they really truly want. And you know, and I'm just curious, like the party atmosphere. What are we looking at as far as just like, is there going to be any parties? Are we going to be able to smoke, or is that something that, you know, is not still not doable yet in this industry, in the expo industry and space?
Yeah, I mean, of course, everyone has personal use and recreational, and can smoke on their own will inside the expo, because it is an upscale hotel. There will not be any smoking, um, but people are allowed to obviously smoke in designated areas where they want to, just like normal.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, as far as parties go, we're gonna be hosting a, you know, an opening party to celebrate on Friday night, and then the expo will be 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, with B2B in the morning, and then from 9 to 12, and then 12 to 6 will be for everyone. And then not only will there be breakout rooms and networking events and music and, you know, food and drinks available, but there's going to be VIP suites that people can go to if they get invited by the sponsors, which are going to be really cool. And we're going to have something planned very special on Saturday night, the Chronic Party. We're going to be renting out a local venue and throwing a really cool party for people just to come and have a good time, good music, and connect. So there's a lot of different ways for people to enjoy themselves in addition to the expo itself. Another thing I wasn't gonna say, but I'll give a little bit about it. We're going to be doing the Chronic Yacht Series. So this is strictly B2B in Newport Harbor on a luxury yacht that we're going to be taking out with the who's who of the industry. And it's going to be an upscale, highly anticipated event.
Wow, man. See, I love it. It just gets deeper and deeper, man, as we go, you know. So now we got some networking, we got the events themselves, we got the meet and greets, we got actual meet your breeder kind of vibrations. We've got, you know, the socials, the VIP sections, the B2B sections, the in B2B, guys, is business to business. B2C is business to consumer. So we got, you know, we got event where the business people can display their products and sell to the consumer, so the consumer can pick up some incredible things, from anywhere from lighting to nutrient lines, you know, from watering systems, etc., from seeds, extracts, maybe cookbooks, different things that, you know, people just, or learning how, or just even just cool little, you know, organic books on how to build your own soil. Just all that kind of info is going to be there. Is that right? Ladies and gentlemen, we have a small delay here. Hold on a quick second.
I'm here.
Okay. Is that right, brother?
Yeah, yeah. So there's going to be all kinds of stuff for people to enjoy. Another thing I was going to say is edibles, you know, education on edibles. And I feel like I just want to say there's a misconception with cannabis. I feel like some people think if they don't smoke or, you know, consume cannabis, THC that is, they think, oh, it's just people that want to get really high and do nothing, sit on the couch and eat Del Taco or play video games or whatever. I I smoke cannabis and I get some of my best, most brilliant ideas. And the first strain I ever smoked was Blue Dream. And still to this day, it's my favorite strain because it reacts well with my chemical structure in my brain. And I get super creative. I don't get tired. It's a, sativa hybrid, and I feel great and I love it. And we really want people to know that if you smoke something, let's say a heavy indica or a Skywalker, cookies, whatever, and it doesn't resonate with you, try a different strain. If you find a strain you like, know that's your strain. And also when to smoke. I have friends that can smoke bong rips in the morning and they're, very, very successful CPA agents. And I have other family members that take an edible or CBD gummy just at night to help go to bed because they don't want melatonin or valerian root extract or whatever's not working for them. And that's something I really hope people get out of the Chronic Expo is the medicinal uses of cannabis. Cannabis has been illegal for a very long time for a reason. It's not because it's bad for you. It's because the pharmaceutical money can't figure out how to make money on it. And now the government figured out how to tax it. So now they're making it kind of legal in certain states, but not federally. It's all about money and the big guy, right? So the other thing is cannabis is free. Everyone can grow it. So it's really a miracle substance, not even substance, it's a miracle plant. That's all that it is. And, there's a quote by Dr. Ethan Russo. It says, cannabis is the single most versatile herbal remedy and the most useful plant on earth. No other single plant contains as wide a range of medically active herbal constituents. And that's so true. The CBD, the THC, the hemp that comes from the plant, everything about it, the fact that you can grow it and it's so easy to grow, but not premium quality. It takes a while to learn how to grow that, like anything takes practice. But I hope people get educated on how to utilize cannabis to enhance their life in a positive way, whether that's getting better sleep, because you spend a third of your life sleeping, you better be really good at it. Another one is, meditation. Everyone should have a meditation practice, usually in the morning, where you just have some solitude and quiet. It could be at night or anytime, and just have some gratitude in your life, some grounding solitude time where you're quiet and reflecting on how blessed we are to be here as a human, having, or here as a soul, actually having a human experience. And we're going to have a class on that, meditating with cannabis and how to set an intention. That's going to be one of the classes going on. So wow. It's not all about, smoking and growing. There's a lot of health and wellness that's infused into this entire company.
Holy mackerel, bro. That just totally blows my mind that I think that's a big thing, a misconception, like you said, with the cannabis industry. They think we're, a bunch of stoners, and that's just the way it is. You're a hippie, you're a stoner, you're one of those guys, hey dude, what's up, man? You know what I mean? And yeah, there's that piece, but there's also the camaraderie, the gift of growing just by itself. I mean, I think growing itself has saved my life. Smoking has gotten me, there's certain times to smoke, especially if I'm confused or lost on a subject, or I just got so much conflict in my life. And I'm just like, man, I've got 5 things pointing at me and I don't know how to think about them. I'll sit down, smoke a joint, and literally all of them just fall in a separate slot so easily. Like, oh, now I get it. It just opens your mind to a different place. A lot of people sometimes do smoke every single day, and that's a part of a certain lifestyle, right? But then there's the people that want to use it for ceremonial things, once a month, once every 3 months, or once a year, just to experience the super highs that you get when you're not smoking every day. There's a whole different level of getting of feeling the cannabis medicine when you're smoking every day versus when you're smoking once a year or once every 3 months. It's a whole different experience. And some people don't even know how to smoke correctly. I've had a couple girlfriends of mine, not my actual girlfriends, but female friends of mine that they want to learn how to smoke cannabis, but they just don't understand. They said, well, I've smoked it, but I'm just not getting high. So I tried the edibles and that just wasn't for me. It was too strong. And I'm like, it's probably because they're not understanding how to inhale it correctly or hold it correctly and it feel and then know how much, it burns my throat, and a lot of the females are, I don't want to smoke anything. I don't want to smell like it. I don't want red eyes. There's so much more to it and different ways of approaching it that I believe is going to be trained at the expo itself. So we can truly understand even dabs, as a whole new industry, dabs and oils and different kinds of concentrates, for people who just smoke so much now that honestly, I just don't even feel anything off a joint anymore. It just doesn't work for me anymore. So now I need to go a little bit further for the medical, for my medical reasons, and go and learn how to dab or carcinogens. I don't want to smoke actual weed because it has carcinogens and so forth. And I'll start coughing all the time. Now you have oils and vaporizers and different things that you can learn. So I'm super excited that people get to learn these new things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And like, you've known, I think we've known each other like 10 years now. I've never smoked a cigarette my entire life. And I worked in nightlife for 10 years. I've never dabbled in that. And I started dating a girl, and that's how you and I met. And she smoked religiously every single day. And I never smoked for years until finally one day I was really stressed at work. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, hand me that joint, and I smoked it. And I'm like, wow, all my stress just went away and everything's going to be fine. And this too shall pass. And that's one of my mottos in life now. And I have always taken that with me. And it has a lot of medical benefits to it. People with chronic pain, all kinds of diseases and people with different, joint problems. CBD and THC is good for your body. And I love seeing like Joe Rogan smoking on camera and Elon Musk. And it's funny, his stock dropped as soon as Elon Musk smoked cannabis with Joe Rogan on the show. His stock dropped. And then 2 weeks later, it skyrocketed, the highest it's ever been. And I think that's a good thing. People are seeing that, wow, these inventors and the smartest people in the world and the billionaires are smoking cannabis, but with intention. Like, I doubt you he wakes up, maybe he does, I don't know, but I doubt you him or Tony Robbins wake up and take a big bong rip. But I'll tell you what, when I smoke cannabis, certain strains, I get my best ideas. Everything comes together and makes sense. Like the stars align into this sacred geometry map. And, cannabis has been around for a very, very long time. So it's all about the intention. That's everything in life. What is your intention? So setting an intention with cannabis. And like I said, I never smoked. So for me, smoking a joint, I thought you had to smoke the whole joint and get high. And then I realized, no, and now I'll literally set an intention. I'll hold the joint, meditate, and put my intention into it with clarity with what I want and what I'm looking to receive. And I'll just take one or two little hits and hold it in with my intention, and that's it. And I'll put out the joint. I don't need to smoke the whole thing, and I'll have a beautiful experience. Or like I went out to eat last week with a friend, and we smoked part of a joint together. It was great and fun and had good conversation. And then we went and had tacos, and it enhanced the experience of our taste buds. And the whole night, everything was more vibrant. So it really is how you use things in your life and how you interpret using things, especially with like cooking. At the Chronic Expo, you're going to learn how to make your own butter and oil and how to cook with it and the benefits of cooking with it. And we're starting to see restaurants pop up all over LA and whatnot, where, Michelin star chefs are starting to cook instead of using just butter or MCT oil or ghee. They're starting to use cannabis butter. And, they're starting to see, the health benefits and the taste and the flavor. And it doesn't have to be a lot, because obviously digesting cannabis is different than smoking it. It absorbs different in the body. But yeah, these are all things that people are going to learn at the Chronic Expo. And I think a big thing is growing. That's a big community right now, because it's so easy. Get some seeds, you got some soil and sunlight and water, cool. you know, and it's really grounding. I think it's fun, you know, to put your hands in the soil and to have a baby and to grow it and to see it come alive. Like everyone should have plants in their house. I have plants in my house. When I'm traveling, I put plants in my place. They give you fresh oxygen. You get to take care of something. You get to see it grow and take care of it. It gives you a sense of satisfaction. And that's what the soul really wants. It wants expansion, to be seen and to be satisfied. So taking care of these plants, and then guess what? You get to reap the award of flower. Oh my God, look at these buds. And then you get to, you know, learn how to grow better buds, and then cross, like you've done, JR, crossbreed, you know, buds, and come out with different types, and getting, you know, these different strains. It's actually a really fun environment with cooking, smoking, growing. There's so much that goes into it. And I like what you said earlier. You had some people tell you that, you know, they got away from drinking, it saved their life. No one talks about this because the alcohol industry is a multi-billion dollar industry. Alcohol is poison. That's why you can, it's only 0.0% of something alcohol. And if you drink too much alcohol, if you have 20 Jack and Cokes, what's going to happen? You're going to the hospital with alcohol poisoning. You can't get cannabis poisoning. You know, you can't get too high. There's no one crashing, you know, causing DUIs with cannabis. Like people might be driving, hey, go ahead. You know, everyone's nicer when they drive, you know, and it's like,
A little slow.
yeah, a little slower, maybe they're going 40 and an 80, but, but, you know, I drink a lot for a living. I got paid to drink. And when I switched to cannabis, I still to this day have not had hard liquor in my body, and it changed my entire life. I'll enjoy a cold beer once in a while or a glass of wine, but I definitely prefer cannabis if I'm out with friends, and just a little bit, you know, like I was out with you, for example, JR, at an event, and your friend gave us what's called 9-pound hammer. And I was not familiar with the 9-pound hammer. And I smoked a lot of it, and I hadn't smoked in a while. And we went to an event, a social event, and I was like, whoa, you know, I was really, really out there. I was like, oh my goodness. And it was still a fun experience. But, you know, if you drink way too much tequila or hard liquor, you're ruining your liver. You're going to feel sick. You're going to be drunk. You're going to look stupid. You're going to act stupid. You're not going to do good things. So I'm not saying drinking is bad, but I am saying that cannabis is a great alternative to experiencing life in a different way if you're looking for another outlet, if you will, other than alcohol and drugs. Because cannabis is not a drug, even though the government tells you it's a drug. You know, I'm growing a tomato just like I'm growing a cannabis tree. And they're actually, tomatoes and cannabis are two of the most amazing plants and smartest. They'll grow upside down, inside out. They'll go find the light. They're very intelligent, you know. So yeah. It's a wonder plant that I think a lot of people are going to get educated on a lot more than thinking what television and movies show us.
That's amazing, bro. I'm looking forward to this. I mean, we got parties, meet and greets, we got the events, we got the business part of it. We got Chronic Coffee, you know, we got, you know, you can come by and just have a morning sesh, you know, and just chill out, you know. It's just such a cool thing, bro. And then you got VIP sections going on where sponsors, you know, they're going to be, so we can, you know, meet the sponsors, and, you know, for all aspects, everybody gets to win here. The businesses get to win, the consumers get to win. I mean, not to mention the medical patients, you know what I mean? Kids with autism, or people with autism, or seizures, or any kind of thing like that, and how it helps with all of that kind of stuff. And people are just not understanding that, you know. People are still, you know, cancer patients, different, you know, the veterans that have PSTD, you know, or you know, I forget what it's called exactly. You know, when they come back, when they just can't stop thinking about the war or whatnot, and they're kind of stressed out, and they
Yeah.
just want to relax, and they can't sleep. People that just literally have businesses going nuts. You know, I got, you know, several businesses, and sometimes I just can't stop thinking. I just cannot stop thinking, and I have too many things going on, too many projects, too many people, problem here, problem there, solution here, solution there. So you're just like, man, I got to slow down. So this is just a place to come together, slow down a little bit, you know, learn some things, and give a lot. You know, this is a place. Tell us a little bit about the fundamental foundation. You were talking about trees and different things, and just the overall mission behind this is really just to, you know, I know, you know, this is the what people would call the hippie part of it, but I
Yeah.
love part of it. You know, I think that's what's awesome about cannabis is that you can be a hippie and everybody loves you still. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Totally. I mean, we're going to have a huge component of giving back. And I think that's the biggest part of any company is what's the purpose and the mission? Obviously, the business here is bringing people together in the cannabis, CBD, hemp community and growing together. But how are we giving back and how are we making a positive change in the world? So I've decided to uh, put things into the hemp market. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to have a silent auction where all the vendors and sponsors are going to be donating items and you can bid, and the winner, you know, highest bidder gets the prize and wins, and all the money goes towards the hemp charity, where we're going to be planting hemp locally in California and literally providing jobs to people and giving back to different charities and kids with the hemp, because people don't know, you know, hemp has, you know, 50,000 uses. Literally, you have the stalk, the seeds, the roots, and the leaves and flower. The stalk alone produces fiber for shirts, you know, textiles for insulation and building houses in hempcrete, fiberboard, organic compost, paper, even toilet paper. Like I would love to make, you know, our own hemp toilet paper and everyone start using hemp toilet paper. We're going to be saving thousands of acres of trees in deforestation, which people don't talk about this. When you are doing deforestation and killing the environment, the forests and the trees, guess who lives in the trees and on the ground? Animals. You're killing a bunch of animals too. So let's start using hemp. So a lot of the, you know, the raffle, all the raffle money actually is going towards a hemp society charity that we're working with and giving back to the planet and helping sustainability, you know, and even hemp seeds can be used for oil and cooking, dietary supplements, even fuel. There's cars that can run on it, paint, animal feed, you know, beer, dairy, protein powder, everything about it. Even like I said, the leaves and the flowers for medicine and the roots for medicine and organic organic compost. It's really important. So that's how we're going to be giving back to our planet and our environment is through hemp. And we're going to have an amazing raffle that people can win some really cool stuff while we're all giving back.
So funny. My mom, you know, was introduced to cannabis through me, technically, so she knows, you know, what I do. But she's so cute. She'd come back and she'd go shopping and she'd see something with a cannabis leaf on it, and it happens to be hemp products, of course, you know. And so she'd come by the house and drop off some stuff for me. She'd be like, Johnny or JR or whatever, you know, hey, check this out, check this out. I just found some shampoo for you and some hand lotions and some different things, and it's all hemp based. You know, I was like, whoa, dude. So now I actually I shower with a cannabis hemp shampoo, you know, and it's just been like, it's just cool, you know. It's a subtle way to introduce people into, and then she didn't realize, you know, how good it is for the skin. So now she's got all
Oh
kinds of
yeah.
this and that have hemp in there and hemp oils and different stuff. So now she's using it personally, and my mom's never been interested in cannabis. She just thinks, she comes from an old school place where cannabis is evil, like the prohibition days. Oh, it's bad, it's
Yeah.
bad. Everybody says it's a drug. Oh no, you're hot. You know, I had to fight through that for since I was 14, I'd been fighting her on cannabis since, you know, and I'm 47 now. You can imagine how many years I've been in prohibition with my own parents.
Yeah.
And trying to hide it, sneak it around, grow it here, grow it in the trees. I used to grow it in the freaking trees. My mom, you know what I mean? And yeah, is at 14, 15 years old. And now she's finally kind of coming around. I'm 47 now. She's finally coming around to, wow, it's a good business for you. She sees that I'm happy growing. She sees that, that the world is accepting it. So now all of a sudden she's accepting it. So she's like, well, if everybody else is doing it, maybe it's not so bad. And then she saw some stars using it. And she's like, well, my favorite star on my novella is using it. And so she says it's great for her toning her face and this and that. And I'm like, really? Wow, that's cool, Mom. You should try some. She's like, now, so she's trying some. Pretty soon, I hope that one day I get to smoke a joint with my mom and have an experience like that, or just introduce her to cooking with it, or just different experiences where, because she has certain elderly pains already, and those things could be overcome without having to take crappy drugs from the hospitals.
That's a big one. I've seen my parents, other friends' parents, really, a good gateway to cannabis is CBD. So I actually went to a festival. There was a vendor booth called Hemp Therapy Care, and I got their premium hemp extract, and it's peppermint. You just spray it under your tongue. I actually have it here on my table with me. It's a 15 milliliter bottle, 250 milligrams. Spray twice under your tongue. It tastes great. It chills me out a little bit. I know the benefits of CBD. It's amazing. It's a cool looking bottle. Like, there's so many benefits to CBD, and even topical, and creams and pills, and if people have aches, like I have a CBD right here actually. This one is Elixir Relief Pain Cream with CBD. I have a bad lower back. I rub this spray on my lower back, and it's got this peppermint. Oh my God, I can feel it within a minute. I'm like, oh, I feel it's like icy hot, but like way better because it's organic. Let's get back to organic. And that's why cannabis has had a bad rap forever, because it's organic. You can grow it yourself and it's good for you. And the pharmaceutical company can't make money on it. That's the.
Hey, brother, your mic just went out. You still there? Can you hear me? Give him a second, guys. Sometimes he's in a different country right now. Let's see if his mic will come back on here in a second. Just give it a quick second. You there, brother? If for some reason he cuts out, guys, that was pretty much the end of the show anyways. We're going to be wrapping it up here in a second, so you got most of what you needed to hear. Justin is just one of the most amazing people I've ever met, one of the most intelligent people I've ever met. And honestly, I'm just super excited. Hey, Justin, you there? Okay, perfect.
Sorry, I'm out of the country right now, and Wi-Fi is so. But did you hear me say the prohibition?
No, you cut off right about there.
I was just saying the prohibition days, like what they did, and yeah, don't believe everything you read and what you see on the news and in the government. Like, if you can grow it and if it's natural, it's probably good for you, and that's CBD, hemp, cannabis. So I'm really excited for, honestly, new people to.
Yeah, your internet's getting pretty bad, brother. We might want to cut this off here. You still there with us, brother? Well, as Justin was saying, he's super excited for the new people to try this out and to start getting. Oh, there you are, brother. So, hey, bro, I know we got bad internet, so why don't we wrap this up, and then I just want to say thank you for being here, bro. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, your vision with us. Thank you for putting this together. Thank you for just, guys, he knows how to put on a great events, like holy crap events. Like, when Justin does something, it's like the city respects him. The counties, the permit people respect him because they know he knows what he's doing. He's done events in the main cities of Southern California and some of the beach cities that you have to, he's done those kind of events. So with that, Justin, I just want to thank you so much for sharing Chronic Expo with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, JR. And I'd love for everyone to join us for the first expo. It's going to be January 15th and 16th in Costa Mesa, Orange County. You can visit our website. It's actually 4 months away from right now when we're doing this podcast. You can visit chronicexpo.com. Follow us on Instagram, chronic_expo. and you can check it out. You can join us in person or online. We're going to be launching Orange County, and then San Diego, and then LA. And it's Southern California. That's our marketplace, and bringing together the conscious green community, if you will. So we're super excited.
And then eventually we get to go to Vegas. Is that right?
That's the plan. Yeah, I wasn't going to say it, but that's what everything's going to build up to with Las Vegas, because that's the Mecca. I've done a wellness festival. I produce festivals for a living. I've done a wellness festival in Las Vegas at a beautiful place called the Spring Preserve. So we might do it there. We might do it at a convention hall, but just know that this conference expo is going to be a hybrid of a festival experience with parties and networking and events that's going to blow your mind, be super fun. And like I said, more than anything, we're going to grow together, learn together, and build our community and make lifelong friendships and support each other.
You know, and you guys can find Chronic Expo on IG as well. I think you mentioned, did you mention the IG?
Yeah, Chronic_Expo. You can connect with us. And if you have questions, if you want to, join us, if you want to, be involved in any way, shoot us an email, info@chronicexpo.com. We'd love to hear from you guys. And like I said, we will be streaming online live, walking around the expo hall on social media and on Zoom with the classes and workshops. So if you're not able to attend in person for whatever reason, you'll still be able virtually to attend, and it will be interactive as well.
Wow, man. Thanks again, brothers. We needed this, man. The community needed this. We've been waiting for something like this again. We've been literally just drooling at the mouth, waiting for something, some sort of great event that we can be proud of as a community. And this is it. This is it, guys. Chronic Expo California coming at you, baby. With that said, if you're looking for great, incredible old school chronic seeds, you can also find me on Instagram with Old School Chronic, under Old School Chronic _live, or Old School Chronic _JR. You can also find my website, and that's where you'll see all my prices, all my strains that I have available for you, including cat piss, old school white rhino back crosses. I have some old school skunks, coming from the UK. I mean, you name it, I've got it. We got old school OGs. I'm finding people that are just, I've been very, very blessed to have some of the most incredible old school stuff. So go to oldschoolchronic.com. That's www.oldschoolchronic.com to find our prices and our list there. And with that said, again, Justin, you're an amazing brother, and I'm so glad you're in my life. I've been blessed every day to have you there. And with that, guys, I'm also blessed to have you guys in my life as well, as a community, as a cannabis community. So everyone, have an incredible day. And thank you again, Justin.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much, JR. I'll see you soon.
Okay, brother. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Okay. Peace.